All right. Well, it looks like Chuck Hagel got confirmed by the Senate, and there was all this brouhaha, this haggling, and you know, I don't really get it. Why we have these stupid rules? I thought that we were a democracy in which the majority of votes will get something passed, but so we have this filibuster rules and all that, and supposedly the Democrats were supposed to fix that, but that didn't happen. Oh well, but I was scrolling through the channels today on the tube, and I was looking at. Oh God, I don't know why I look. I don't know. I just get hooked on MSNBC, even though I don't really like their hosts, like Tweety Bird, Chris Matthews, or Ed Schultz. I mean, these people, they pretend that they know what they're talking about, or that they are liberal or progressive or whatever that means, but they're not. I mean, they're fucking, they're out there. And I was watching Hardball, with Chris Matthews, Tweety Bird, and he was talking about this whole Chuck Hagel thing, and oh God, I couldn't even stand this interview, this segment. But there were some few weird instances there. But anyway, I have the clip here on that. Let me just go ahead and play that. I mean, I don't know. I would hate to be on Hardball with Chris Matthews. I would hate to be on that show with Tweety Bird. I mean, this guy couldn't even let the guy that he's interviewing talk anything. I mean, look at this.
Clemens and Peter Beinart of the Daily Beast. These people are disreputable. Peter Beinart, why on God's earth would a United States Senator, whose purpose is to help the Republic work, for this government to work, knowing that this guy's going to be Secretary of Defense, knowing there's going to be a vote on it, vote publicly to deny him even a vote today? Why would they do that?
Well, I think it's because they wanted to somehow show that they are more militantly in opposition than anybody else. But the whole thing is absurd.
They already did that.
That's right. And
they already did that a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Don't you like it how Chris Matthews argues with the guest even though he agrees with the guest? Like, what's the point of having people on your show if you're just going to walk all over them and talk over them? I mean, what the hell? I taught a pooty tat.
Peter, right. They did it. They did all that. They dumped all over this guy's nomination. They attacked him in the hearing. They gave all their speeches, issued all their press releases. They made their point. Why would they do it the very day they knew he'd be confirmed?
Well, because
knowing they would be just dumping on him as Secretary of Defense, not as a nominee, but actually as Secretary of Defense.
Because we have so debased the idea of the filibuster that I honestly think now people think of not voting to allow a vote as simply the same as voting no. This is how corrupted our political system has become, that actually people see voting for a filibuster as simply no different than simply voting against someone. The whole system is not...
I mean, I really hate these shows, and the reason why is because, like, they're only 40 minutes or what? Like 40 minutes without the commercials. And you have like 4, 5, or sometimes 6 segments, and you can only squeeze in like 4 minutes in a segment. And so the people that are on the show, they have to like speed it up, they have to talk really fast like this guy, I mean, I would feel totally uncomfortable if I have to basically put all my thoughts into like, 3 minutes, and I have Tweety Bird on my ass every 20 seconds trying to, argue with me, even though we might both agree on something. I mean, it's kind of weird. That's why I hate cable news, because somebody goes up there, right, and they talk for 3 minutes, and then another person talks for 3 minutes, and then another person talks for 3 minutes. Then the host will make his or her opinions known. And that's it. I mean, nobody is real. I mean, it's so... Here's my talking point. Here it is. Let me just puke this shit out so you can regurgitate it and, eat it, because all of you are a bunch of dupes. And so... Look, I'm fine with trying to know stuff through MSNBC or whatever, but I'm not a fan of the media. Be honest with you, I'm not really a dupe of the media. Yeah, I listen to it, but I know what they're talking when they say bullshit, or there's certain words and phrases that get stuck in my head when somebody says something that's very, I don't know, that stands out for me. And I don't know why I have this ability. Some other people that I know don't have that. And I would just stick to that word or phrase that stuck to me. So maybe that's why I don't like to watch a lot of these political shows. But geez, I mean, it's just like, this guy that's being interviewed by Tweety Bird, he's like rambling through. It's corruption. Slow down. And he's like, and they're all like yelling and yelling over each other, like if it was some fucking horse race or something. Like, chill out. Have a beer. Have a martini. Relax. But wow. That's why I hate cable news. And anybody that listens to cable news or Rush Limbaugh or any of these people, and they believe everything they say and they regurgitate what they heard, you people are Muppets. Be honest with you. I don't care what your political ideology is. You believe in something because you know it to be true, and you play with the idea, you do your homework, your research, and you come up with your own conclusion. I say things on the show too, but it's things that I have found. And it's up to you to either agree with me or not, or just, it can roll down your back and you don't really care. That's fine. That's your decision. But, these people are really just pounding. The audience, the ratings are not that big, so. And I know the audience is getting fed up with this shit. We want more of a human touch. All of this looks so, I don't know, it just looks so, maybe it's because it's a political show. Everybody thinks they're running for something on these shows. Like, oh, I'm running for office. I'm running for, no, fuck it. If you're never going to be in politics, which hopefully you'll never be, running for office, I don't know if you're that corrupt to actually decide to do that, but you're not really running for office. If you're not going to run for anything, what the hell? What's wrong? And so, I don't know. Fucking Chris Matthews. And yeah, he continues to interrupt the guy. Hold on. Let me continue to play the clip.
Working the way it's supposed to.
You know what, Steve, I respect any opinion on this within bounds. There are problems with this nomination. This is not Superman. Right. But they looked, and I said, fair enough. They looked. Had he ever made an anti-Semitic remark in private? Had anybody ever heard him say anything that was awful, that was disreputable? And they looked, and they looked, and they looked, and I couldn't find it.
Well, he did make the anti-gay comment, and what happened, right? All the Democrats said, oh, fuck it. You gay people, get over it. Get over it. He's on your side. How do we know that? The guy voted against every gay rights bill. Everything that had to do with the gay people, he voted against it. Period. That's all we have. If you want evidence, show me the evidence that he's changed. People say that, oh, I talked to him and he's changed and all this. Okay, whatever. Fine. All right. We'll shut up. And we did, right? A lot of gay people shut up. I shut up. I said, fine. If that's what Obama wants, then whatever. It's his constitutional right to appoint whatever members the cabinet that he wants, and that's it. Case closed. Unless there's anything criminal about this guy, shady or anything. I don't know if there's anything shady about him, but the thing is that we were told, hey, shut up. Yes, he said that gay people shouldn't be ambassadors and all that anti-gay shit, but you gay people, shut up. Support this guy. And so the Human Rights Campaign came out and said, okay, we support him, we love him, let's suck his cock, get it, get it over with. And so, fine, everybody went along with it. And so I said, fine, I don't care. Go along with it then. He said he has evolved, whatever that means. And he says he's going to fix those issues with the benefits for gay couples in the military and all that. So let's see what happens. I'm not sure about that.
And they still voted to deny him a vote.
Well, I found it interesting that two of the most militant senators opposed to Hagel nonetheless did the right thing and voted for cloture, and that was John McCain and Lindsey Graham. Those were two of the centerpiece. But when you look at Jim Inhofe, Ted Cruz, Inhofe is ranking member of the Armed Services Committee. He has certain responsibilities of respect for the other side and how he's going to handle it. And I think they just blew it.
And they voted against him again today, of course. But you're right, they voted against cloture, or voted for cloture to stop the debate. So we can actually have a vote today. Let me ask you about this, Peter. Now, let's talk about the looking forward and what this does to our government. We've got a government close down on a lot of defense spending in the next couple of months. It's going to hurt a lot. We have a war we're still fighting. I wish everybody remember that. We are fighting a war in Afghanistan. Men and women are out there on the front on post right now, in some cases scared to death wherever they're stuck, fighting the enemy, and they're back here, couldn't even agree on a Secretary of Defense in the chain of command. What's it do to the active military? What's it do to our future potential for saving money in defense?
Okay, so and the question is, I mean, this guy just rambles on and on and on, and he just wouldn't let. I mean, this is really actually the tame version of Tweety Bird. I mean, there are times when people just like, they couldn't even get 2 words in. I mean, when is he going to finish the question? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Oh.
And perhaps fighting another war in Iran.
Oh, I think it's terrible. I mean,
see? You see, let me play that again. Hold on.
Fighting the enemy, and they're back here, couldn't even agree on a Secretary of Defense in the chain of command. What's it do to the active military? What's it do to our future potential for saving money in defense and perhaps fighting another war in Iran?
Huh? Did I hear that? Did you hear that? I mean, let me just... That is weird. Another war with Iran? I thought Democrats, liberals, progressives, whatever you call yourselves, I thought you people were against a war with Iran. First of all, Iran cannot even tie its own shoes, let alone have nuclear arsenal. And they know that. Everybody in intelligence know that. So why is Tweety Bird saying, oh, we might have a war with Iran? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's just, I don't know. Like, they're prepping us for war. And this is not the only time that he's said this. Like, oh, we might go to war with Iran. We might. And then he's saying that John McCain is, hawkish? But look at him. He's now plugging this idea subconsciously. You know. All these liberals, it's funny that all these liberals who were opposed to a war with Iran, because Dick Cheney wanted us to go into war with Iran. He wanted a war in 2007. And we had Code Pink, and we have all these other liberals and activists go out there and say, no way, Jose, we're not going to have a fucking war with Iran. And now everybody is back home, everybody's at Starbucks, and whatever, yada yada. Nobody gives a shit because, oh, we have a liberal president. And there's no problem now. Yes, we have a problem. We have a sequester that's going to loom over our economy, and I don't think it's going to go out pretty well. Let me just say that. You cannot cut during the Depression, but I'll talk about that later. But you know, this whole Chuck Hagel thing, because Chuck Hagel, he says, you know, we should be careful by going to war. I agree with that. We shouldn't go to war until it's necessary. If Iran declares war on us, or they're trying to invade, or attack our economic interests overseas, then yeah, we can attack them. But just because they get a nuclear weapon, that doesn't mean that we attack them. It just means that they're going to waste a lot of money on something that probably they cannot even afford. It's not just you have to build a nuclear bomb, you have to maintain it. These things need to be maintained, and if you don't maintain those nuclear bombs in a safe way, then probably they're not going to work when you launch them. It's like Pakistan. People think, Pakistan has like all these nuclear. No, they probably have no more than 10 or half a dozen nuclear weapons that work properly, that actually will ignite. Because that country is so fucked up, they couldn't even. These countries are so fucked in the ass. They cannot even tell what's left or right. They cannot even feed their own people. And so how can the people of Iran, the Persians, really look at this and say, well, our priority is to, nuclear war with Tweety Bird, with Chris Matthews. And now, what is Chris Matthews saying here? This is, again, I say things like that. I pick these kinds of things up. And just because I don't want reactionary Republicans in control, it doesn't mean that I want to accept this either. It doesn't mean I want Democrats in there. Democrats like Tweety Bird, who are anxious to invade Iran. That's what I think he's saying. I don't know if that's a Freudian slip, that he wants war. There are many Democrats that want war with Iran, with Russia, they are I wouldn't call them blue collars or the Reagan Democrats. That's over with. Stop saying Reagan Democrats. They don't exist. It's over. Done. This is 2013, 1981. Get over yourselves. See, that's a problem with our nation. We're not able to fucking move forward, to think about the future. We're always living in the damn past. Oh, Reagan this. Oh, yeah. He wasn't that good of a president. He was not. But at least he was realistic in a way that he says, we cannot take away Social Security. We cannot do these so-called entitlement reforms. But now the teabaggers and all these reactionaries, they want sequester, they want to shut down government, they want secession, they want these people are just nuts. And Tweety Bird, you think he's any better? Do you think, no. It's us. You're talking about the media, mainstream media, that is controlled by the same people who control Fox News. They're controlled by the same corporate interests. What do you think it's going to happen? What do you think they're going to say on these shows? It's obvious. And this whole Chuck Hagel thing, I think, now that I am really looking at this, is that this whole Chuck Hagel thing with MSNBC and Chris Matthews, I think they're trying to promote this idea to liberals. Hey, it's time to go to war. We are at war still. And this president was supposed to actually bring everybody back from Afghanistan. Already. That was the original promise, but now it's extended. So we'll see about that. But as far as Hagel's concerned, well, I don't know. He's a veteran, so supposedly he's the first Secretary of Defense, or as we used to call it, Secretary of War, that was a member of the military and a veteran. So I'm not sure. There's a whole lot of things I'm really wondering about. Hagel, his anti-gay views and all that. And, but let's see what happens. I'm hoping for the best.